Imagine waking up tomorrow and you decide to renounce the material world that defines you. Imagine you feel rich regardless what your bank account shows, the job you are involved, or the unchanged circumstances. Imagine you do this not to pretend in front of someone, nor to force yourself into positive thinking, but because you realized an important truth that lies within yourself. And strangely, what if over the next few months your physical experiences rearrange themselves to match that certainty? What if money starts coming from unexpected places, opportunities appear out of nowhere, and you make better decisions, which makes you calm and wealthy? Does this sound mystical or irrational to you? Maybe you realize not, but this is exactly how reality works. The world you live in is nothing more than the projection of your own consciousness. If you change your consciousness, whether you like it or not, your world rearranges itself, regardless of how impossible it may appear, to match that which is in your consciousness. Today's video is about one of the most powerful ideas which transforms your life with ease, the wealthy identity shift. Not how to make more money or how to attract abundance, but how to become the version of yourself for whom wealth is simply normal. Now, before we get into the question of what identity is, let us examine what a person is. Ask the average person who they are. They think about their name, age, profession, nationality, and so on. But they don't know that none of them define what they truly are. Things like name, age, and experiences you meet are merely descriptions of what you have acquired. Your name was given to you by someone else. It exists even before you have received it. Your age is nothing more than the number of years your body has existed. In fact, it changes every moment. Profession, nationality, religion, language, social status are all conditions of your life. They are circumstances, not your essence. They can all change, sometimes overnight. There is one thing constant within you, which changes not, even though everything you experience may change at any moment. This is your real self, your I amness, the one you cannot live without, which is always constant, regardless of what you attach to it. You can express your name, nationality, profession, whatever. This undeniable I amness will be there prior to all of them. Not I am this or I am that, simply I am. Everything else may come and go, but this I am never does. Now, identity is what you attach to this I amness. A rich man claims I am rich because he thinks that's his identity, and a poor man repeats I am poor because he assumes that's his identity. Identity begins forming during childhood. Now, you might think rich and poor are born in definite conditions which made their identity unchangeable. But you can see many rich men failed to do certain things because they adopted the identity of I am not good at this, while on the other side, poor man doing anything with enthusiasm because he adopted the identity of I am capable of doing this. But mostly this is not the case we see. We see many poor people who identify themselves as incapable by believing their circumstances, where the wealthy, not all, but many, utilize every opportunity at their hand to make themselves better. Identity is rarely chosen consciously. It is inherited, borrowed, and repeatedly accepted. Years later, people say, "This is just who I am." But that's not true. That is simply who they have practiced to be. Because consciousness is free, no identity is permanent. A rich man's identity can change just as quickly as a poor man's identity. We are not limited to our past, circumstances, or memories. We, in our core, are the awareness which chooses these identities, and awareness is not restricted from adopting a new identity. It can occupy any identity it chooses. I identified myself as I am small when I was a child, and I now identify myself as I am big when I become an adult. The conditions change, but not I am. It is this I am which says the identity you are in. Now, to change identity before changing condition feels weird, as if it is a lie. But throughout history, it is this process which helped men of value to achieve great things. This process is sometimes called identity transformation. Now, we hear in scriptures, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This does not mean to replace your mind, but it means to change the identity. This is where the old self dies and the new self will be born. When the Bible says, "Put on the new man," it meant adopting a completely new identity, and you can do this. Now, if you desire wealth, adopting a wealthy identity is absolutely important. Without this, all you do may seem as if you are going nowhere, because you cannot finish a task by holding to the identity which says, "I always leave things undone." Now, you may question, what actually is a wealthy identity? We have got the internet believing this means luxury, expensive watches, private jets, and so on. But the real identity of wealth never lies in material possessions. It consists in the understanding of your relation with the infinite source from which all things materialize. When you succeed in changing your identity, everything changes. Not maybe instantly, but inevitably. This stops you to make fear-based decisions, enables you to be emotionally stable around money. Of course, as most people are conditioned to look at their limitations and are forced to stick with their old identity, changing the identity feels as if we are cheating ourselves. But that's exactly what we need to do. We must hold to this process as long as this cheating makes us better for the good of us and those around us. Mind you, without violating the space of others. I agree, you may feel it too funny when you say, "I am earning abundantly," when your income doesn't really satisfy you. But each time you attach to your I amness, that wealthy state you want to experience, you are slowly transforming your identity into a new one. Your I am is a very powerful tool within you, and the identities you attach to it are what transform themselves into your experiences. A person from childhood who reinforced the identity of "I am always ignored" will no doubt constantly experience in his life more events where he gets ignored, and he keeps getting ignored until he chooses to identify himself as "I am recognized and valued." You too, worrying about your environment and events which appear as if they limit you, is no good and will never do you any good, but expands more events to limit yourself. But when you make a decision to change your identity, and when you identify yourself as "I am wealthy," regardless of the appearances, and visualize as if you are already everything you desire, the transformation your life sees will surprise you more than you can think. Initially, everything may appear as if nothing is changing, but when you persistently hold to your new identity, and when you stick with it, you see the mighty power of the universe. You see how everything just seems to happen to match your new identity. It is this process which makes people anticipate events that are called miracles, though there is nothing miraculous about it. The identity of the person who engaged in the miracle changed long before the miraculous event he encountered. This is exact and scientific. Your identity, if you hold on to it, manifests every desired thing in your life. So from this moment on, be mindful of the words that follow "I am," because those two simple words are shaping your future every single day. Choose them carefully, choose them intentionally, and most importantly, Choose an identity that is bigger than your current circumstances. If this message resonated with you, don't just watch it, live it. Start today. Speak your new identity. Believe it, act on it, stay consistent, and let your life become proof of the incredible power hidden within the words, I am.